April 25th, 2026. The Washington Hilton Ballroom. Inside, 2,600 people are gathered for the White House Correspondents Dinner. It is one of the highest density VIP gatherings on Earth, packing the president, the vice president, cabinet secretaries, and top journalists into a single enclosed room. While dinner is being served, the hum of conversation is shattered by rapid-fire bangs. Attendees in tuxedos and evening gowns drop to the floor, pulling down heavy tables to take cover. Secret Service agents draw weapons, rushing the main stage and shouting for attendees to stay down. How does a heavily armed man bypass the intense perimeter of an event locked down for the President of the United States? That night, a theoretical nightmare, a decapitation strike against the top levels of the U.S. government, materialized right outside the locked ballroom doors. An event of this magnitude requires a massive security apparatus. Attendees are funneled through layers of checkpoints and magnetometer screening areas guarded by federal and local law enforcement. This specific building has a dark and violent history with presidential violence. In 1981, John Hinckley Jr. shot President Ronald Reagan right outside these exterior VIP exit doors, earning the building the local nickname the Hinckley Hilton. But that 1981 attack happened on the street outside. As this diagram shows, the 2026 attacker penetrated much further, bypassing external barriers and charging deep into the building's interior security perimeter. By reaching the final indoor checkpoint, the attacker exposed the absolute last line of defense, separating him from thousands of high-value targets. At approximately 8:40 p.m., the formal program is minutes away from starting. A 31-year-old man named Cole Tomas Allen navigates the hotel. He holds a master's degree in computer science, graduated from Caltech as an engineer, and works as a teacher in California. Yet tonight, he is carrying a shotgun, a handgun, and multiple knives. Nearing the ballroom, he sprints past the primary magnetometer screening area, attempting to crash through the security checkpoint. Security confronts him immediately. Between 5 and 8 shots echo through the corridor, as a frantic firefight erupts only feet away from where the guests are dining. During the exchange, one law enforcement officer takes a point-blank hit to the chest. He survives because the round is stopped by his bullet-resistant vest. The attacker is tackled and subdued, the interior perimeter held, but the distance between a foiled assault and a mass casualty event was reduced to a few seconds and a narrow stretch of hallway. Inside the hall, Secret Service agents instantly swarm President Donald Trump. They physically surround him with rifles drawn, rapidly escorting him off the main stage to a secure holding area. A secondary wave of agents moves to extract the First Lady, the Vice President, and cabinet secretaries, while hundreds of journalists remain huddled on the floor. The doors are secured. The Hilton transitions from a media gala into a locked-down, active crime scene. As investigators trace Allen's movements, they search his hotel room. He had checked in as a guest the day before. Inside, they find a handwritten manifesto. The writings lay out a specific, premeditated plan. He was aiming to kill members of the Trump administration. The weapons and the written intent clarify the scale of the threat. This was a targeted strike directed at the executive branch of the United States. Less than an hour later, President Trump posts on Truth Social from his secure location, praising law enforcement and urging organizers to let the show go on. Law enforcement eventually forces a complete evacuation of the ballroom. The streets surrounding the Hilton are saturated with police cruisers and federal agents, their emergency lights illuminating the night as the suspect is taken into custody. This animated timeline chart plots the recent attacks on Donald Trump. We see the 2024 shooting at a rally in Pennsylvania, the thwarted sniper in Florida months later, and now the 2026 attack in Washington, D.C. The Secret Service successfully neutralized the threat with 0 civilian casualties. Yet the necessity of diving under tables at a formal dinner exacts a heavy psychological toll on the Capitol. A heavily armed gunman nearly breaching a room filled with the nation's leadership forces a stark realization. Political violence has transitioned from a rare anomaly into a recurring, escalating feature of modern American public life.